Here we are with the iPad in landscape mode on the little Apple case as a stand, which is going to make it a little bit easier for me to manipulate this off to the side here, which is very difficult. But you see how fluid and fast everything happens, which is just really impressive. I mean, the more I use it, the more impressed I get with how fast things happen with the different programs, different apps, different functions. I'm having a hard time seeing off to the side here, so let's push that and go back to the home page. What I want to do is show several apps that I am really using a lot. It's only been a couple days, but I am pretty much settling on a few that are serving good purposes for me. One of the things that I looked for was a good Twitter application, and after trying a whole bunch of them, the one of the moment right now is Twitterific, which shows all of my friends' Twitter stream over here. And it also shows, oh wow, got lots of them in here. On the left, you can go over here and see people that have mentions and direct messages, and you can do favorites, etc., etc. But it works pretty well, and if you tap on one, you can... I like the overall way that pop-ups work on the iPad. I think that's a good way that they've done things, as you can see how fluid it is when they pop up. You can retweet and everything. But that's Twitterific. There's a free version and a paid version. I think the difference is there's a line of ads on, and the paid version also handles multiple Twitter accounts, which is kind of handy. Now, the other thing that I do a lot of is work in Google Reader with my RSS feeds. And it's easily done using mobile Safari in the browser, but it's not quite as fluid as I like to work. So since I spend so much time, I follow hundreds and hundreds of RSS feeds, thousands of items a day, I wanted something that kind of streamlines that for me. So I tested a bunch of different things, and I've settled right for the moment anyway on NetNewsWire, because I really like the way it presents things. It opens up. Again, it's a two-pane in landscape, and in portrait mode it's just the one big item pane over here, and this one pops up similar to the pop-up window that you saw on Twitterific. But this again is all my feeds. I don't really see, where are my feeds? I can go here, latest feeds, and if you select one, you get your full feed preview over here. It's actually the full feed. And what I really like about this is that it'll even play embedded YouTube Flash video in this little mini browser that's in here, and that's one reason why I really like NetNewsWire. But this little button up here instantly moves to the next unread item, no matter which feed it's from. So I can spin through this really fast. I can see the each item. I can stop and look at stuff. I can tap on links and it'll pop open in the stay right here. This is now Engadget. That was a link to Engadget. And of course it's fully zoomable, very usable. And so I'm really going to go back, and then I can go on to the next feed. I can do favorites. I've now favorited that. And one of the nice things about NetNewsWire is that even though it's a self-contained RSS feed reader, it syncs with my Google Reader. So I can actually everything's going to be synced to Google, so when I go back to the desktop or any other computer and open up Google Reader, it's all up to date. And I really like that. And that's I forget how much that was. That may have been $9.99, I believe. That one was. Then of course there's the Kindle app, which will do this in landscape here, which you may have seen. I can open up a book, and it's not quite as good. I normally use this in portrait because I like the long page. It mimics a book page a little bit better, but it's nice and crisp. It's a very good reading experience. I like this app. I like Kindle here. I'm also using, of course, iBooks. I kind of like in landscape the dual page thing, so that you can go back and forth like that. It's pretty nice. I use iBooks in either landscape here or portrait, which is one big page again. So that's cool. Now here's a really cool one that I just discovered this morning. As good as Mobile Safari is, and I'll show you that in a minute, sometimes it's really nice if I could see two pages side by side. And this little 99-cent program in the App Store called Browser Duo, that's exactly what it does. It opens up two web pages, and you can have bookmarks and favorites, etc. But you see, like it's JK on the run here. We can go over here, and let me see if I can get to another page. I don't really have anything listed there. See if I can do this from the side. You'll have to bear with me because I really can't see. But what I want to do is get to another page that you can see. You see the keyboard in landscape is pretty nice. It's even off to the side here. I'm able to use it pretty comfortably. See if I type that right. Yeah, see, so you've got Google. And again, this works like everything else on the iPad. The pinch and zoom. But it's a nice way to kind of keep an eye on two different sites if you want to do it, like having Twitter over here, just running there while actually working over here. And like I said, it's 99 cents and it's pretty cool. And you can even go full screen, which will let you blow it all the way up if you want. Or you can go back to dual screen. So that's called Browser Duo for 99 cents. Now let's see. I just want to show you a couple more. Now here's one that's really cool because it just showed up here yesterday. I'm a big fan of Zenio. I've used it for a long time, and the iPad version just showed up yesterday. The app is free. It's a digital magazines, which we've probably read a lot about how digital magazines are going to be big on the iPad. And while I don't know about that, what I do know is that Zenio is pretty cool. And again, pinch and zoom, and this is where it really shines over other versions of Zenio because it gives you the full zoomability, if you will. You can tap stuff here. Let's see, you can tap at the top and get a page, kind of a table of contents, so you can go back and forth. You can get to the table of contents here with page numbers and go straight to that page. It's not quite as fast as I'd like, but it's fairly decent. I mean, it's pretty nice. Go back to page mode and see how that gets out of your way. So that's Zenio for iPad. Okay, let's do something a bit unusual. Log me in Ignition. I've I've written about this. I don't want you to see my login information. Okay, so let's log into my MacBook. Now the MacBook is right behind me, or right behind you, but it could be across the world. And as long as it's attached to the web, it's going to log me in. And this is my MacBook. If you notice the cursor here, you move it from the side. It takes a little getting used to, but it's actually the best way to interact with it. See how I've been able to do whatever, and I can go here, tap to click. You see how fast that happened. Let me get this box out of the way. There we go. So I can easily open up Windows. It's just really, really useful. And I'm finding ways when sometimes if I need to do something that the iPad can't handle, I can pop over from anywhere across town and log into either my Mac or one of my Windows, my ThinkPad, and I can run Windows. Which the ThinkPad, let me make sure the ThinkPad is sleeping. Let me wake it up just a moment. So I'm still on the Mac here. In fact, I can zoom in and let you see how easy that is to interact with. It's pretty responsive, surprisingly so. But let's terminate this session. In session, everything is touch optimized. That's one reason why the iPad experience has been so good, is everything is touch optimized. So I'm logging into Windows. I don't want you to see my login again, which is already there. And I'm now running or accessing a Windows 7 application the same way. In fact, if I move that, I can do the menus. I can activate simple point and tap just like Windows. Everything happens quickly. It's just a very decent user experience, and it's very usable and it's very useful, and that's pretty darn good. There's my Rocket Dock at the top, which that's actually part of Log Me In. Let's close that little information box. There we go. If I can reach it, I'm on the side again. See my battery, I'm on AC power. Everything works nice and smooth and neat. I can check my battery power from here. It's pretty darn quick. Everything happens just like it does as if I was sitting at the remote computer. And that is one reason why Log Me In is so powerful. I really liked it on the iPhone, but with the bigger screen, it's even nicer. There's TweetDeck, which should load up all my tweets. I can minimize that to the taskbar, and then I should be able to nice and neat. So we'll cancel this session. In session. And then we can go back to the desktop. Of course, you've got the typical search at the keyboard. Got my email program, which I'm not sure if I want you to see my stuff. Put the preview over here, and again, pinch and zoom. Very nice user experience. So this has been James Kendrick at JK on the Run with a hands-on look at apps on the iPad. iPad optimized applications are the way to go. In fact, I can show you how bad an iPhone only app it'll run, and it's usable, but it doesn't look very good. Let me find one here that like this Remember the Milk. There it goes. Should have waited. Let's get this centered a little bit. This is in pixel double mode. This is normal size. It actually looks okay here, and it's fully interactive. But if you want to make it bigger, I mean, it's fully usable. It just looks blocky and it's ugly. And I, like most people that I've read, don't find it very much fun to use for very long. So I'm pretty much sticking with iPad optimized applications, which makes a big difference. Like as you fire up this New York Times iPad app, this is the editor's choice. It's free. It's a nice app, but it's very restricted. I actually prefer using the full New York Times website because all the content's there. This is just a handful of it's just a handful of the various articles. In fact, I can show you that. Let's go to the New York Times here, if I can find it from the side. Is it here? There's the New York Times right there. This is just the regular old Safari website. Pinch and zoom is so much fun on this. But that's James Kendrick with jkontheRun.com, a gigaOM site with iPad apps, hands-on video. Thanks.